This video takes you through the cashing up process in iClarity. Cashing up should always be done at the end of each day, but it can be done on the following morning if necessary. It is also recommended that you cash up at the end of every day that the practice is open. The cashing up module will, however, accommodate a day being missed. To open the cashing up module, click on the yellow arrow to display the second set of icons, and then click on the cashing up button. When you open the cashing up module, it will display the last cashing up to be completed. Not until you click Begin Cashing Up will you be able to enter the final takings and float for the day. However, at any point during the day, you can add the following entries onto the cashing up module using the Enter Bankings button. When you take money to and from your safe, when you take money to and from the bank, credit transfer and NHS remittance when you complete an NHS or deferred payment reconciliation, and when you take money out of the till to spend on petty cash items. It is recommended that you enter these banking entries when they happen during the day to avoid items being forgotten at the end of the day. However, they can be entered at the end of the day when you are completing cashing up if necessary. On the cashing up module, at the top you will be able to see if the cashing up period has been completed or is still uncompleted. If it is completed, you can see when it was done and by who. The period that the cashing up covers is displayed here. How much money was in the till at the start of the day? How much money has been recorded by iClarity as being taken from patients during the day? This will be broken down into cash, card, backs, etc. Where the money has gone, so how much went to the bank, how much has gone into the safe, how much has gone to the bank via the PDQ machine, and how much has been spent on petty cash items. The information in this column is collated by what you tell iClarity you've taken in Enter Bankings. This column records how much money was in the till at the end of the day. Here we can see how much money is in the safe, and the equals field shows a total of the money in the till drawer at the start of the day, plus the money recorded as taken from patients during the day, minus the money that has been banked or put in the safe or spent on petty cash items. It is therefore how much money iClarity expects that you will have in your till at the end of the day. This displays the actual cash in the till, and this displays if there is a discrepancy. It is calculated from the difference between the equals field and the actual cash in the till. Entering details of safe and bank deposits, petty cash expenditures and deferred payments received. Once the cashing up module is open, click on the Enter Bankings button. Today's date will be displayed automatically in the date field. The type of banking you are entering from the drop down. Bank deposits is for any cash or cheques that have physically been taken to the bank. Safe is for any money that has been removed from the till drawer and placed into the safe. Miscellaneous expenditure is for money that has been spent on petty cash items. And credit transfer is for money that has been directly paid into the bank by a patient or by a deferred payment party, for example the NHS or a corporate client. type in the value of the banking you are entering. If you are entering a miscellaneous expenditure, select the type from the drop-down field. There is also space for you to put a reference, and then click Add. If you are taking money from the safe and then depositing it into the bank, you will have to make 2 entries. You will minus from the safe because it's been taken out, and you will record the bank deposit. You can go in and out of the Enter Bankings button as many times as you need to throughout the day. But it is really important that you do not click the Begin Cashing Up button. Clicking this button will change the payment date of the system, so any payments from patients are recorded as going through the system on the following day. At the end of the day, when you're ready to cash up, enter the Cash Up module. You can now click on Begin Cashing Up. Once you have pressed this, any further payments that are entered on the system will now be dated the following day. You should usually do this at the same time as you print out your PDQ machine reading. Any bankings that you have entered throughout the day will be shown in the Bankings in Period column. You can now enter your PDQ reading. Open Enter Bankings. Select PDQ from the drop-down list and enter the value that is on the reading from your PDQ machine. You can usually tell at a glance if there is a discrepancy between what your PDQ machine says and what iClarity thinks you have taken in card. If there is a discrepancy, you must identify and correct it before proceeding further. The way to do this is to click on the Review Payments button. This will list the payments received from patients in the cashing up period. This will allow you to compare the credit card merchant receipts with the list of payments entered onto iClarity as card payments. Find any discrepancies, you can amend the details on this form. You can change the payment type or the amount. For example, this £60, upon reviewing our merchant receipts, has been discovered to actually be cash. Once you have made the necessary adjustment, confirm changes. This adjustment will be reflected in the patient's account. The payment type has now been changed to cash. If a discrepancy has been caused by a payment not being recorded on iClarity, you can close out of the Cashing Up module and your progress will be saved. Navigate to the patient record with the missing sale. Open the patient sale and enter the payment. The missing payment will now be there, however it will have tomorrow's date. Open the Review Payments and overtype the date field with today's date. This will add this payment to today's list. Any changes made in the Review Payments screen will be reflected on the patient's sales transaction record. For example, here we had a cash payment of £100. In the Review Payments button, if we were to change that to 50, when we enter the patient's record now, the amount has been altered and an outstanding balance has been left to pay. Please note that walk-in sales cannot be amended, and backs and online payments cannot be amended. This is because automatic banking entries are made for both backs and online payments. If you need to make any corrections, you should do this on the patient record using the Amend Payment function. You now need to count and enter the money in the till in the final column. You can only put in correct multiples of the selected coins and notes. For example, you couldn't put 8 pence into the 5 pence column. When you have finished, the 3 boxes in the lower right hand corner should look like this, with a 0 discrepancy. If there is no discrepancy, click on the Confirm Summary button. This cashing up period will now be closed and you will not be able to post any further adjustments or amendments for the selected period. If, however, there is a discrepancy, you should review your entries and try and identify any errors. For example, do the PDQ entries in the period match the bank-ins in the period? And does the amount of cash iClarity has in the till match the actual cash in the till? You should always tell iClarity the truth about what you have and never amend the bank-ins in period to match the payments in period, even if this means recording a discrepancy. If at a later date the issue causing the discrepancy is discovered, it is easier to fix if the original discrepancy has been recorded. If you cannot find and rectify a discrepancy, you can confirm the cashing up anyway by clicking on the Confirm Summary button. You will be prompted to enter a reason for the discrepancy. An entry will be made automatically to cancel out the discrepancy. This is so the discrepancy is not carried forward to future periods. The discrepancies are reported in the POS and banking reports.